Connor, thanks. Your time now, 6:45. Attacks on oil and gas sites by Iran and Israel causing a lot of uncertainty when it comes to energy prices. A number of oil refineries across the Middle East have reported being attacked this morning as oil prices remain over $100 a barrel. Meanwhile, it's not just the price of oil we are following with this. The price tag of the war itself is now a big talking point as the Pentagon is set to request $200 billion in additional funding because of the war. For more insight on that, we turn to Scripps News Group's Stephanie Liebergen, who is live with us this morning. Stephanie, what exactly is the Pentagon's request, and is it actually going to go through Congress?
Hey, Blaine, good morning. Well, the Pentagon has sent the $200 billion request to the White House, but the White House hasn't officially transmitted that request over to Congress just yet. So there are some details that are still in question. Even Secretary Hegseth yesterday saying the $200 billion number could move, but he said, quote, it takes money to kill bad guys. President Trump hinted yesterday that the $200 billion supplemental funding request might include requests for funding besides just the war with Iran. So we have to wait until we see the formal request from the White House to Congress to get a better idea of what exactly the White House is asking for and what exactly that funding would be used for. But Democrats in Congress already expressing some pause and some concern. There's, of course, agreement. They want the U.S. military to be fully equipped for any task it undergoes. But Democrats say they need more answers from the White House. They need clearer answers from the White House before they would even consider approving a funding request.
So I'm very reluctant to provide additional funding for this war of choice until the president lays out what we're trying to accomplish and when we're going to be done with it.
This $200 billion get approved by Congress? That is a big question mark. Depending on how Republicans try to get the bill through Congress, it is likely to be subject to the 60-vote threshold in the Senate, which means some Democrats will need to join with all of the Republicans in order to get it through that chamber. But even passage in the House isn't guaranteed. There is such a slim majority right now with some vacancies and one member of the Republican Party leaving the Republican Party in the House recently and becoming an independent that right now, as the numbers stand, if all the current members of the House are present and voting, even one Republican joining the one independent and all of the Democrats to vote against a supplemental funding request, that would be enough to stop the bill. So again, in both chambers, you're looking at potentially needing some Democratic support to join with all of the Republicans to get any kind of supplemental funding request through. But even among all Republicans, there's not necessarily unanimous support for the war and for potentially approving more funding. So a lot of questions about whether any kind of supplemental funding request would actually make it through both chambers and then back to the president so he could sign it.
A lot of questions, and we know you'll be watching that. Stephanie, live in Washington this morning.